so much to play out. Tell us a bit about how it is going to play out, because the national finals is your jam, Pete. You've been waiting for this for a couple of years, really.
Oh, yeah.
So we're finally here. How's it going to work this weekend at the State Basketball?
Well, I must say, I've actually been waiting for this since probably 2007, because I was growing up playing in the Adelaide League, would exchange names about 5 times. There was the opportunity to come over and just play the Victorian winners a couple of times way back in the day, and then it just went away. So I'm really excited this is back, but it is different. So the system is the exact same as the NBL Cup was and the NBL Blitz will be. So 3 points will be awarded if you win a game, extra point for each quarter one, and if you tie the quarter, you get to split the points. So that means you'll be playing 2 games, and that way the top leading point scorer. So everything matters. And I'm really excited about that, because you can't take your foot off the pedal. Every single quarter matters. If you're losing a couple, but you win the game, it's anybody. So it's going to be really high quality basketball for the entire 40 minutes, which is what I'm excited about.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. State Basketball Centre here in Melbourne, of course. Let's have a look at the draw starting on Friday. A massive weekend of hoops coming up as we have a look at the bracket now. So in the women's action on Friday, West Adelaide Bearcats take on the Senators. The Townsville Flames play the Spartans, and the Bandits play the Hawks. In the men's, Pete, it's the Flames and the Panthers, the Chargers and the Rollers, and the Frankston Blues, the wildcard winners, against the Gunners.
Well, that's going to be the Friday, which is jam-packed full of some elite matchups that we just can't wait to see. On Saturday, as you saw there on the graphic, the first place team will face 5th, 2nd, 4th and 3rd will play 6th. And then on Sunday, the 2 highest scoring teams will face off in the championship game, while 3rd and 4th will play off for 3rd, and 5th and 6th will play off for 5th. So get all your tickets via Intex at nbl1.com.au or the NBL1 app. And I think maybe I'll start lodging a little petition that I like that we're doing a different kind of scoring. I think it's unique, but there could be a chance to have a little ELAM ending opportunity for the national finals. So that's something that it's getting bigger. I think the G League's using it this year in some games, but maybe that's something we can look at for the future, being the full national finals, like an ELAM ending kind of situation.
And you think the scoring system is unique Thompson, who's just behind you there, and we'll see her on the weekend.
We will. We'll be seeing her play against one of our key guests that I'm looking forward to having a chat to.
Yeah, so the national final this weekend at the State Basketball Centre. We're going to take a look at the games, and we're also going to see how we got here for Central West and South champions at the weekend. Let's start with the women's, and we're going to look at the Bearcats and the Senators. That is at 6 p.m, the first game of the national final. Huge weekend. The Bearcats, they are stacked. They are led by Jasmine Fee-Jones, 18 points per game, alongside finals MVP Madeline Newty. She had 25 points and 17 rebounds against Sturt, and she's going to be very dangerous against the Senators.
Yeah, some big personal matchups here. The Senators, they're just as deadly. Conference MVP Stacey Barr, they will be for a tough matchup with the Bearcats. Watch out for Leonie Fabic as well. 21 points and 10 rebounds as the finals MVP in the West Grand Final. That's just a nice little appetizer to start the night.
That's a very nice way to get things underway. And then we turn focus to the Southern District Spartans and the Townsville Flames. So we've got a wild card and the North Women's Champions. It is the rematch of the NBL1 North semi-finals. We take a look at some of that action now. That's at 6:15 p.m. local time. The Spartans come into this game looking to exact revenge after losing that semi, but they'll get the second chance as the wildcard series winner. And Townsville are hot.
Well, they are. I mean, they beat Logan 2-0 in the grand final series a couple of weeks ago. And not just beat them, obliterated the undefeated team, which they'll be having a lot of confidence with. Steph Reed, Courtney Woods will be ready to fire. No Alana Smith.
Yep.
Now, that is a big change. So they'll be coming in confident. And we spoke to Steph Reed, who said it's tough to beat a team multiple times in a row, especially when you're playing them in the same season. So Noah Alana Smith changes things, but I'm sure they're going to be ready to fire.
I think...
Pun intended, by the way. I didn't mean to do that.
Totally.
I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
She's a huge loss, but I don't think it's going to hurt them.
Ooh.
And with Shannon Seaborn at the helm, but also they don't have to do a scout on a team from another state.
Are we going to do this at the end? Are you going to have your prediction?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll do that at the end.
Townsville for me.
Okay.
I'm on them.
Okay, we'll do it now. No, I'll do mine.
All right, let's move through now to our next game. This is a big one too. Albury Wodonga Bandits and the Ringwood Hawks. Ringwood coming off a championship win at this very venue less than 7 days earlier. This game's at 6:30 on Friday, Pete.
Yeah, this one's going to be really exciting, the Ringwood Hawks. They've been unbelievable all season long. They play for each other. They have fun out there. They're going to have the advantage of the home crowd, and it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of excitement. In this one, the Bandits star finals MVP, Unique Thompson, she's going to go up against finals MVP, Marina Whittle, who had 33 and 19 against the Braves on Saturday. But there's one question mark around this game, and it's no surprise. The GOAT, LJ, we're not sure whether she's going to play yet or if she doesn't play, but if she comes down and suits up on the Friday, well, that changes things a lot.
The GOAT and the Opals are in camp this week on the Gold Coast with just over 2 weeks to go into the Women's World Cup in Sydney. Now, I think with both teams, we've talked about their stars. We've got 3 of them behind you on the set, and we'll talk to Marina Whittle shortly. But there are so many great cogs in those teams that have got them both to championships. So my prediction for this one is that it might be some of the unsung heroes that play the roles and not necessarily the names that we bandy around every week.
Well, you're going to pick Townsville to win it all. I'm going to go with Ringwood Hawks. I think, the home crowd's going to help, but just watching the way they went about business over Bendigo on the weekend, I think Ringwood have what it takes to go all the way.
Yes, well, I like that prediction from you as we move on to the men's action now. And we've got Rockingham Flames taking on the Panthers. No Devondrick Walker for the newly crowned West men's champs.
Yeah, it hurts them, no doubt about it, in the national final, but a big congrats to him. We had him on the show earlier this season. He is now signed with the Brisbane Bullets, which is well-deserved, 100% deserves that NBL chance again. But they're going to face off against the South Adelaide Panthers, who we spoke to Alex Starling, the finals MVP, a couple of weeks ago, and he said they lost to Woodville. They wanted revenge, had to get through Daniel Johnson and the Forestville Eagles. They did that, and then they went and beat Woodville, got the revenge. Starling was enormous. Jeremy Smith was the conference MVP. This is going to be a really tough match for the Flames, who've had an outstanding season. They've got the old heads who go about their business. They've got Marshall Nelson, who we'll speak to later. But the South Adelaide Panthers, they're well coached. They've got a little bit of chip on their shoulder, and so they should. They're going to be a really tough beat this weekend.
Congratulations to the Flames and their coach, Ryan Petrick. I love this story. Coached in WA State League and then NBL1 for a long time. Head coach of the Perth Lynx in the WNBL. I think he's still getting over that grand final series defeat to the Boomers. But what an amazing year that is from him. We know that Perth started the season in January. They started late. They relocated to Ballarat, got them to a grand final series. No turnaround, and then has won a NBL1 West Men's Championship. I think that's a remarkable basketball story. You
speak to anyone who's been coached by him and they have nothing but positive things to say. And we for the last few weeks talk so highly of Shannon Seaborn, but Ryan Petrick as well. Yeah. He's just an absolute star in what he does, and he's going to have to be ready to roll this weekend. No Devondrick Walker, you take out the MVP and the best player on your team, it's going to shake things up, but more opportunity for some other guys as well.
Okay, let's take a look at this next game. It's the Hobart Chargers, fresh from the South men's grand final victory, taking on the Rollers. There are a few absentees in this game.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but we know it's the NBL pre-season, big important time for NBL teams when they've got a lot of new roster changes to try and get things sorted out. So it looks like we're going to have no Sam McDaniel, no Harry Froling, no Bairstow for the Chargers, no Kiddy, Krebs or Mitchell who'll be away for Bullet stuff. So it's a real big setback, no doubt about it, but it still leaves some really high quality players. I mean, Lamar Patterson is still running around for the Gold Coast Rollers. Expect him to have a really big weekend this weekend. So this could go either way. This could be a real big coin flip, but it's going to be a battle. There's still some young stars ready to shine.
Ole Angustine has been a standout for Hobart all season, a fantastic import, did some big things for them in the grand final at the weekend. And AJ Harris, he didn't have the grand final he probably wanted to at the weekend, but it didn't matter because he came out of it a championship player. So he's averaging 14 points and 5 assists a game. Angustine was perfect from the floor and had 11 points against the Pioneers. Want to quickly talk about Sam McDaniel. I know he won't be there this weekend, but he was just... How sensational was he in that grand final at the weekend? We know they struggled a bit in the first quarter and they went to a two-pass zone in the second term. and it proved to be a masterstroke by Anthony Stewart, and he had no one better than Sam McDaniel to execute it.
Oh, he was terrific. And again, playing with a lot of confidence the NBL1 season. This is what it's for. It's for those players who want the opportunity to get signed, like Devondrick Walker did. Sam McDaniel to gain a lot of confidence going into a big year for the Jack Jumper. So well deserved to him. I'm expecting AJ Harris to have a big game in this one. I'm talking maybe a 30-piece nugget. Same with Lamar Patterson. I think he's going to have a big game as well for this one. But I'm waiting to hear your tip on who you think is going to win it all on the men's side. But mine's going to come from this next game, believe it or not.
Yeah, I reckon I'm with you on that one too. Oh, let's
have a listen.
Pete.
Have a listen. She's copying me. I'm going to go out and say it.
I'm a copycat from Ballarat.
We're talking about the Frankston Blues versus the Canberra Gunners. The Frankston Blues, the wild card winners, they'll face off against the NBL1 East champions, the Canberra Gunners, in the final game of the night starting at 8:30. Frankston, hometown crowd, and I feel this might be a little biased for me to be saying, but the Gunners are going to have their fans. We know they're behind them. We spoke to their finals MVP last weekend, and I think they're going to be a really tough beat. But Frankston, when you talk about players, the NBL players who aren't playing this weekend, Frankston have a really, really, really strong squad. They're playing good at playing great basketball at the right time. I think they're going to be really hard to beat this weekend.
Give me some Frankston names you're looking for.
Dylan Stife, Lockie Barker should be back from injury. Daniel Trist is around there. Adro Bailey as well. Iggy Hazimerovich, Lucas Barker.
And Lucas Barker, Golden Hands winner. Congratulations to him, NBL1 South.
So they are absolutely loaded with talent. So they don't lose anybody this weekend, but if they can be fully healthy, and I'm expecting them to be peaking at the right time.
So we're both going to go for Frankston in the men's. We're not going for them, we're tipping them.
I'm going to tip Frankston versus South Adelaide in the grand final. I think South Adelaide are going to be really strong to beat as well. And if we get that, I'm really excited at some point to see the Alex Starling versus Dylan Stife matchup. I think that's going to be... It's just so great to see different conferences and these elite imports go against each other. So I'll be penciling in to watch that one.